Okay, we were here. So we were seeing the future conditional. We can use a model such as might or can in the result clause. If you uh if you keep working that much, you might fall asleep anytime. That's a possibility. Or I can talk to him if you let me. So again, this expresses possibility, and this expresses the ability to do something. And well, we can use if we use the if clause at the beginning, we need to use a comma. I'm sorry, here you don't need a comma. And if you use the if clause at the end, you don't need a comma. I don't know if there's any question, maybe.
No, teacher. No, teacher. There's no question.
Okay, great. Let's move on.
Hi. I was just thinking back to about 7 years ago. I had given up my dreams of being an Hi. I was just thinking back to about 7 years ago. I had given up my dreams of being an actor, and I had started teaching. Now I'm a teacher, and I'm making this video. So I guess I'm still an actor after all. Had given up and had started are examples of the past perfect. Let's learn more about this verb form.
Okay, can you please read?
What number, teacher?
I'm sorry, number one.
Okay. We use the past perfect to talk about something that happened before a specific time in the past. It was 8:30. Jackie and Dean had left Valentino's. This means Jackie and Dean left before 8:30. We form the past perfect with had plus the past participle. We often use the contraction D with pronoun subjects. Nick and Talia already knew each other. They'd taken classes together in college.
Continue, please.
We often introduce the specific time with by. Talia, my boyfriend, and I had split up by the middle of the semester. In the example, the specific time was the middle of the semester. Talia broke up with her boyfriend before then. We also use the past perfect to show a relationship between two past events. We use the past perfect for the earlier event and the simple past for the later event. Dean and Jackie had left the restaurant by the time Nick and Talia ordered dessert. This means that first Dean and Jackie left, then Nick and Talia ordered dessert.
Great. 5 and 6, please.
We often use already, yet, and never with the past perfect. These words emphasize that the event in the past perfect occurred first. By the time Talia studied for the exam with Nick, she had broke up with her boyfriend. We can use the simple past for two past events when it's clear which came first. This is often the case when you use after, before, or as soon as to connect the events. Nick had decided not to ask Talia out as soon as he heard that she had a boyfriend. Or Nick decided not to ask Talia out as soon as he heard that she had a boyfriend. Both sentences mean that Nick decided not to ask Talia out when he heard that she had a boyfriend.
Okay, great. So we use the past perfect to talk about something that happened before in a specific time in the past. Here, like by 1994, they had won their fourth World Cup. Okay, so by a time in the past, like before 1994, they had won their fourth World Cup. Okay, or something like when I call them, they already left. They'd already left. So you're talking about something that happened before a specific time in the past. By 2020, he had earned $1 million. And we can also use the contraction D, like here. He'd earned. I don't know if there's any question, maybe.
No, teacher.
Okay, can you create two sentences with the past perfect?
Okay, teacher. Mm, when I arrived home, she had already arrived.
Okay. Another one, please.
Mm, um, when I started playing the new video game,
Okay.
uh, he had already finished it.
Great. Okay. So let's move on. You can introduce in a specific time with by. Like here, by 1994, by the middle of the semester, by 2020, and before that, you can use the past perfect. And we also use the past perfect to show the relationship between two events. We use the past perfect for the earlier event and the simple past for the later event, as you did here. When I arrived home, this is the later event. She had already arrived. So this is the earlier event. And when I start playing the new video game, that's the later event. He had already finished. That's the later event. And we can use already, yet never, to emphasize the events. Like here you did, right? Already. Already. You're using already to emphasize. Or you could say like when I bought that video game, he hadn't bought it yet. Or uh, She had never seen snow before she traveled to Canada. And when the order of the event is clear, you can use simple past for the two events. Okay? With after, before, or as soon as. Like, before I arrived home, she arrived. You could say that. Although I don't recommend this. Okay, this is more informal. Okay, so when you speak normally informally, you use like two simple past sentences instead of the past perfect. However, for the TOEFL, I definitely recommend that you use the past perfect. Okay, so I wouldn't really recommend to use two simple past sentences. I would recommend to use the past perfect instead. But you could do that. In fact, when you speak is more normal to use past perfect, simple past instead of past perfect. Before I arrived home, she arrived, or she didn't see snow. Well, it's not so clear there. Like, before I bought a video game, he bought it. Or he finished. You could say that, but again, uh, really, uh, it's much better to use the past perfect. Like here, Nick had decided not to ask Taliadas. He heard that she had a boyfriend, or Nick had decided not to ask Taliadas as soon as he heard that she had a boyfriend. So both have the same meaning. However, if for the TOEFL, of course, I would recommend to use the first one. I don't know if there's any question, maybe.
No, teacher, it's clear.
Okay, let's move on then. Let's just listen.
Hello, it's nice to see you again. Today, it's time to learn about infinitives after adjectives and nouns. We use these a lot in English, and they're pretty easy to understand. Are you ready to begin? Okay.
Okay, can you please read?
Mm, As you know, we can use the infinitive after certain verbs, but we can also use the infinitive after certain adjectives. Talia, are you ready to go? Many of these adjectives describe a feeling about the action in the infinitive. Talia was anxious to work on the story. We can also use the infinitive after some nouns. The noun plus infinitive combination often expresses necessity or advice. Nick, I have a confession to make. Nick, why don't we just take a little time to enjoy ourselves? Here are some more examples. Do you have permission to go? She's the person to ask. I have a test to study for. It's time to leave.
No, this one you didn't finish.
It's time to leave.
Okay. Continue, please.
Uh, we also use infinitives after adjective plus noun combinations. Nick, that's an easy mistake to make. Talia, Jackie really wants to be famous. Nick, but it's a high price to pay for fame. We often use for as a noun or pronoun before the infinitive when we include the subject of the infinitive. Nick, it's important for the Federation to hear the recording. Talia, it's time for us to go.
You didn't finish here. Again, it's time for us.
I think that is my signal teacher. Sorry. Talia, it's time for us to go.
Okay. So, we can use the infinitive after certain verbs, as we know. But you can use it also after certain adjectives, like, are you ready to go? So, many of these adjectives describe a feeling about the action in the infinitive. And we was anxious to work on the story. Okay, so, like here, I am happy to help you. She was afraid to ask for help. He was angry to hear about getting fired. I am reluctant to quit my job. I'm sorry to bother you. Okay, so we have uh, some examples here. We can also use the infinitive after some nouns. The noun plus the infinitive combination often expresses necessity or advice. I have a confession to make. Okay, a confession to make. Why? Uh, why don't we just take a little time? A little time. That's a noun to enjoy yourselves. They have permission now to go. She's the person now to ask. We have a test. That's a noun. And it is time. That's a noun also. So we can use it after adjectives or after nouns. Okay, so I'll create a little more examples here. Her dream to become an actress was never realized. His goal to run a marathon seemed unrealistic. I asked, well, I don't know if there's any question until here.
No, teacher.
Okay, we can also use infinitive after adjective noun combinations. It is an easy mistake to make. Jackie really wants to be famous. That's a high price to pay for fame. Uh, is unrealistic goal to become the president is laughable. Unrealistic is the adjective, goal is the noun. Or hmm, my, let's say, impossible dream to become uh your husband is now dead. Okay, something like that it could be. Again, impossible dream. Dream the noun, impossible the adjective. And we often use for plus a noun or a pronoun before the infinitive when we include the subject of the infinitive. It is important for the Federation to hear the recording. It is time for us to go. Uh, let me see here. It is impossible for me to call you. It is unrealistic for them to play the game tomorrow. Uh, Again, we're using here a noun or a pronoun in this case with for to basically say like the subject. We're basically trying to mention the subject here of the infinitive. I don't know if there's any question, maybe.
No, teacher. It's clear.
Okay, great. Let's move on then. Okay, we're gonna work on this, please. Please tell me when you're finished.
Okay, teacher. I finished, teacher.
We're gonna review. Hold on. Maybe it's time for her to call us. Maybe it's time for us to call her. That's the thing there.
Okay,
Because
teacher.
she's taking. Yes, this could also be right, but that was the answer of the book. You know, Talia, if you call, not called. Oh, phone. Why are you using the verb call here? Should be phone, right?
Yes, I confused, teacher, because it's
Oh.
phone. I don't know why I put called.
Yes, if you phone, but without the ed, only phone. You phone the office. Okay, great job. Let's continue here with D4. Let's please read.
Listening. Predict the speaker's intentions. Um, Listening. Predict the speaker's intentions. Listen for sequences of actions. Listen for ideas that show people's relationships. Listen for the main ideas in news story. Speaking. Identifying a problem. Suggesting a course of action. Responding to a suggested course of action. Committing to a course of action. Grammar. Future in the past. Passive causative. Reported statements. Pronunciation. Stressing words with prefixes. The voiced th sound in this. Reading and vocabulary. Getting the meaning from context. Understanding main ideas and details. Writing, pre-writing technique, make an outline, task. Retell a traditional story, skill, use chronological order, draw a conclusion.
Okay, can you repeat these words?
Details,
No, details.
details.
Yes, please take notes. Here, we're gonna do this.
Details. Details.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Details.
Yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. Please read.
Video listening, watch the video and answer questions about the information and ideas in it. Learn more about body language and other cultural aspects of the video. Vocabulary. Learn the meanings and usage of these phrases with clear a depth, clear a space, clear someone's name, clear something with someone, clear the air, clear the decks, clear the table, clear the way, clear your head, clear your throat. Speaking, learn expressions you can use to identify a problem, something's wrong with the recording. Suggest a course of action. Did you check that the recording light was on? Responding to suggest that course of action. No, maybe that's what's wrong. Commit to a course of action. I will do that now. Grammar. Learn to express yourself using future in the past. I was just going to call you. Passive causative. I had the tape player cleaned last week. Reported statements. Jackie said that she had posed as a Kicks executive. Task listening. Listen to the stories of the evening news. Choose the newspaper headline that matches each story. Pronunciation. Practice your pronunciation of stressing words with prefixes a, b, d, x, in, and re. The voiced th sounding this, that, this, and together. Reading. Read a traditional Taoist story that both educates and entertains. On the web, research traditional stories, retell a story you like.
Okay, can you repeat these words?
Throughout,
Let's listen.
throat,
It's throat, not throat. Throat.
throat,
Can you repeat that?
throat.
Yes, great job. Any questions?
And no, teacher.
Okay, we're gonna finish here in video listening. Okay, I'm gonna do the poll and then you can leave. And I'll see you tonight in the TOEFL course. Okay, see you tomorrow. See you tonight.